Well, I've seen this airplane at Lakeland, Florida, and I've seen some old guy flying it around down there, and he seems to be flying it for about 12 or 13 years now. You're not the old guy that's doing the flying, are you?
Me and Ed are antiques, and we've both got some good hours left in us. The first time I took it down to Lakeland was 1982, and let's see, this is about 1995. I guess that makes 13 years ago. Bob Mormon, local from Dade University, he's an anthropology professor there. He has a plane like this down at Lakeland, and sometimes he flies mine, sometimes he flies his. Give me something to work on.
What's the name of this airplane?
Okay, this is Kolb Flyer. It's designed by a very talented truck driver out in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, by the name of Homer Kolb. I say truck driver, actually, he works for UPS. He's now retired. This was his first model that he came out with. It has twin engine. The other planes are two-cylinder pusher type planes that have improved thrust, but the aerodynamics on this are as good as the new ones.
I did an interview with Homer a couple of years ago, and he indicated that this airplane was not produced from the factory or anything, that it actually was supplied to the customer in plans?
Yeah, that's right. It's you get a roll of plans, and he guarantees that if you buy material from him, that you're not going to be able to buy it cheaper anywhere else. So I just made life simple. I bought the material and I bought the plans, and it took about 3 months working in the garage, and had it ready to go.
Yeah. Now this is powered by two Solo engines. They're made in Germany, I believe.
Right, they're an industrial engine from Germany. They're two-cycle engines, but the application in Germany is about the same as the application for a Briggs Stratton here in the U.S.
Okay. What kind of weight are the engines coming in at?
Engines weighing about 22 pounds each.
And horsepower?
They're very good on the weight. On the horsepower, the engines are rated at 17 horsepower at 6,500 RPM. However, I can't run but about 4,200 RPM, so I have about 12 horsepower available for my plane.
Okay. What kind of performance are you getting out of that on cruise and climb? And
climb, yes. On the cruise, it depends on what you want to call it, because if I have full throttle, the engines are at cruise RPM, and that's good for 50 miles an hour. I burn 1.25 gallons an hour with a 5-gallon tank. That gives me 4 hours flying time if the wind doesn't interfere, and that will give me 200 miles radius.
I'm starting to. Oh, you said you whittled the propellers for these things too?
Oh yeah, heck. Every kid started whittling propellers when as soon as you got a pocket knife, and I still got a good pocket knife and took it from there. They work okay, and well, the whole thing's a hobby. Propellers are a very interesting thing to experiment around with. Unfortunately, propellers are just about like religion. The more you get into it, the more I realize, the less I know, but anything works.
Now, how many hours do you think you've got accumulated on this old girl now?
Oh, between 900 and 1,000 hours, and it costs about $1.50 an hour to fly a twin-engine airplane. I guess I ought to go ahead and make applications, see if somebody wants me to start flying 747s. I understand they're twin-engine also, or a multi-engine.
Is the airplane capable of maintaining flight on the one engine?
Just barely, just barely. It'll take off a hardtop runway on one engine. That's not the way to start the day, but it will come off the ground.
Have you ever had to an engine out in it and had to get it down?
Yeah, actually I had 2 engines out, but a fella asked me, well, what did I do when I had 2 engines out? And I said, well, I just stayed there, and pretty soon a couple of Texas Aggies came along, threw me a rope and pulled me down. Everything was fine.
Del, thank you very much for your time. I
Okay.
really appreciate that.
Thank you. Have a good day.